نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Alhamdulillah, once again, with the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we are here. Today we are on verse number 30 of Surah Al-Baqarah. So this time, just to make things a little interesting, I didn't use the recitequran.com. I basically went to quran.com. Does anybody know what's the difference is?
There is no reciting in here.
No, there is, but here the translation is not showing. So
I see.
you have to go on you have to hover on the word.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So let's do this together. So A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajeem. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This is one of the verse from the Quran where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the creation of man and how he made him the Khalifa. And this story of Adam and Iblis and the whole thing has been repeated several times in the Quran. So this is the first occurrence from Surah Al-Baqarah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَإِذْ قَالَ رَبُّكَ لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ إِنِّي جَائِلٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ خَلِيفَةً قَالُوا, then the angels replied, قَالُوا أَتَجْعَلُ فِيهَا مَنْ يُفْسِدُ فِيهَا وَيَسْفِكُ الدِّمَاءَ وَنَحْنُ نُسَبِّحُ بِحَمْدِكَ وَنُقَدِّسُ لَكَ قَالَ إِنِّي أَعْلَمُ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. So this is the dialogue between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the angels. So what is the word wa here?
Warfiyataf.
Wa. And is what is?
When?
When. So and when qala. What is qala?
Said, he said.
He said.
And when who is said? Who is saying it?
Rabbuka.
Rabbuka. Your Rabb.
Your Rabb. So here, what is the file? Is it a pronoun or is it the visible file? So the hint is, look at Kala. Kala is
hidden.
Siga number one, correct?
Yeah.
So what is the rule about Siga number one? That if the Siga number one is present, then the chances are you are going to find the file
Again.
somewhere in the sentence, right?
Yeah.
And for that, file is supposed to be what status?
As muttasil.
No. Muttasil means
Attached.
attached.
Broken.
But no, what is the status? Status is of noun.
Nasab.
Because nasab. Who said nasab?
I said altaf.
Okay. So we know that the file is supposed to be a rafa. The maf'ul, the object, is supposed to be nasab, right? So when you see rabbuka, what does rabbuka mean? Your Lord, right? The moment you see your Lord, what kind of information comes in your mind?
Murakkab izafi.
Murakkab izafi, very good job. So when you see murakkab izafi, the first word is the mudaf and the second word is the mudafun ilayh. Yes. Now, if the mudaf is supposed to be like without the al and without the tanween, and the mudafun ilayh is supposed to be jar. So is the pronoun ka from the table of jar and nasab? Nasab and jar? Ka kumakum is from the table of nasab and jar. So this is mudafun ilayh. Now is the rabbu giving you the rafa feeling or the rafa status?
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
Right. So what is qala rabbuka? When said your Lord. So who is the file? Your Lord.
Your Lord.
Your Rabb, right? You get that what I'm trying to say? Rabbuka, your Lord. Because it's siga number one, the possibility of a visible file is existing. And as soon as you see a rafa, you know that the file is visible. Is that concept getting refreshed in your memory now?
Yeah.
So, and your Lord said to who? Lil malaikati. So he said to the angels, right? What he said? Now the thing is, what did he say? He said, Inni ja'ilun fil ardi khalifa. That I am going to appoint or create. Ja'il is from ja'ala. So you know when we say fa'ala, what is the fa'il? Fa'ilun. Yes. So when you say ja'ala, what is the fa'il? Ja'ilun. Fil ardi jar majroor. Yes. And khalifa is the nasab, right? It's a noun.
No.
Got it?
Yeah.
So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to the angels, I am going to lil malaika, to the angels, inni, indeed I am, because there is a inni in there, inna in there, yes? Ja'ilun, going to appoint fil ardi khalifa, and vicegerent or vicegerent, meaning a khalifa, the khalifa or the amir. Then the angel said, qalu, they all said. How many angels said? All of them.
All of them.
Yeah.
Okay. Ataj'alu. So when you have this alif with the hamza in the beginning, it's a question mark.
Question mark.
Right? And the
Will you?
taj'alu is fi'l mudari, right?
Yeah.
So more of a, they're saying, are you going to make, or will you place fiha? What is fiha? In it.
In it.
In it. It's
Why fiha?
feminine.
Feminine because of the earth.
Arab.
Yes, because we are talking about earth. Where is he going to appoint the khalifa? In the earth, right? So they're saying, are you going to place it in it? What? May yufsidu. What is may? Is who? Are you going to place him who is yufsidu, will spread corruption? Is yufsidu fi'l mudari?
Yes.
Fiha, in it.
In
What
it.
is this? The concern of the angels were that this creation is going to create corruption in the world. وَيَسْفِكُ الدِّمَاءَ, and he's going to shed blood. Okay. Now the reason why they knew this information ahead of time, that is something beyond the scope of our understanding right now. We're not getting into that. We are not doing the tafsir or the history. But this is something to ponder about, that how come they already know that maybe there was another creation before man?
No, the reason is the Allah said He gonna give them freedom, choice of freedom, and Malaikas don't have the choice of freedom.
That's right. But again, as I said, all I'm trying to get your mind to be curious about that, how come the angel knew that this creation is going to do corruption in the earth and also shed the blood?
Yeah.
Does that mean there was another creation already there before the man who was already doing the corruption and doing the bloodshed? So there's something to think about.
Maybe they were programmed to know that.
Okay, so answer that question. I wanted to tell you in the end, but right now this Sheikh Yasir Qadi, he's doing a very good series about the stories of the prophets. Okay. And this time he is going in a lot of detail, like he's going into every little detail, right? So the Hazrat Adam's story started around like lecture number 9 or 10. And today or this week, he's on lecture number 21. And he got to this part right now, that when Allah said to them that is prostrate to Adam. So if you are really curious to know the real background or all the nitty-gritty details, I would recommend that you listen to this series. It's amazing that how much details we don't know. And I can share this link with you after the class. Will that be something of interest to you?
Yeah, I need to.
So usually it's a 1 hour long lecture. And what I do whenever I'm traveling, I find that time very suitable for this kind of learning. Okay, so back to our lecture. And then they're talking about themselves. And then they are saying, why do you have to create when we are nahnu, we, while we sabbihu, we glorify you bihamdika, with your praises, wa nuqaddisu lak, and we sanctify for you. Qala, Allah said, inni a'lamu ma la ta'lamun. I know something, or I know what you don't know. Yes? A'lamu, I know
I know.
what? Ma la, not
What you
ta'lamun.
don't know.
Yeah,
Yes.
you do.
So with this understanding, this is a dialogue between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the angels. Now let's look at now just before we go in there, anything which has the al or there is a tanween, we know that is a noun. Yes.
Ism, yeah.
Yes. So we know that Khalifa is a noun. Yes. Anything with the ta or the ya is fi'l mudari. So yufsidu, yasfiku, nahnu is pronoun of rafa. So it's a noun.
It's we.
Nusabbihu is fi'l mudari. Yes. Bihamdika is mudaf, mudafun ilayh, and jar majroor also.
Yeah.
Wa nuqaddisu also fi'l mudari. Okay. Qala is fail, right? Alamu is fail. Yes. La ta'lamuna fail. And then there are a lot of words in there like harf, lil, malaika, rabbuka. The rabbuka is the attached pronoun which is of nasab and jar. Yeah. Now one thing about is, the word is in the Arabic language, it is known as zarf. Okay. Remember, we have talked about many time about zarf. When we talk about zarf, zarf zama and zarf makan. Okay. Zarf zama is the mention of time, and zarf makan is the mention of place. Yes. So, but the interesting thing you should think about is that sometime you will see the word is, wa is qala, but sometime you will see wa iza. Do you remember seeing the iza? There's alif also in there. Wa iza.
We are in this ayah?
No, not in this ayah, but in the Quran.
Yeah.
You will find is and you will find iza.
Wa iza, yeah. Iza.
So the first information I'm trying to tell you that when you see is, you should think about zarf. Zarf zaman to be more exact. Okay. And is for Madi. What is it for? Madi. Iza is for future.
So it's wa iza ja nasrullah. It's for future.
So that's future. Right. So when you are going to find is, the fail which is going to follow it is going to give you the meaning of the past. And to the extent that even if it's a fail mudare, it will still give you the meaning of the past. Okay. So something to think about. So if it's a zarf, then what we know about zarf, that zarf acts as a mudaf. Yes.
Yes.
So then if there is a mudaf, then the mudafun ilayh has to be there. Correct?
Yes.
And then mudafun ilayh will most probably be in the form of a verbal sentence. Agree?
Okay.
See what I'm saying here? So this is some interesting facts about the Arabic grammar. I mean, yes, we know these simple rules and regulations, but there are like a lot more details where we need to know these to understand certain things. Yeah. Okay. So with that said, when we look at this, so we'll look at what's happening here. Wa is qala rabbuka. So qala is verb.
Yes.
And the file is coming in front of it in the shape of mudafun.
Yeah.
Rabbuka, your Lord. And how do I get that? I explained it to you. The Rabbu is in Rafa. Yes, it's a halat Rafa. When you have something halat Rafa, you know that is going to act as the file. Then lil malaikati is jar majroor.
Yes.
Okay, so in a verbal sentence, when you see a jar majroor, we know that it is the muta'alliq about the fi'l. Yeah.
Yes.
That information is understood, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So here the verb is qala. Rabbuka. Yes, brother Altar.
So this lil malaika,
Mhm.
malaikate, is what they call harf is
Lam.
lam, right?
Lam with the zair, lil.
With the
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So if that was not there, it will be al malaikato or malaikato.
Then it will be because this is this is mutallik, so it has to be like this. Then it could be malaikata because if there is a maful.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's okay. If it was then why it is lil? Where the
Definitely.
second lam is coming?
Yes, that's right. Because it was al malaika, right? As you
Yes.
said. So
Yeah.
that could be it, but I'm not too sure about it, so I don't want to guess here.
Okay.
But that's a good point. We can think about that. But right now,
I think it was al malaikato. That's why the second lam is coming. So lil malaik alif disappeared. So
yes. So then that will be the maful because
yeah.
the file is there. Then we only thing we need is the maful, right? So it's al malaika. Then it will be the maful. Okay.
Yeah.
And the maful can be a noun. It has to be a noun. And
Yeah.
also it has to be in the status of nasab, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So وَإِذْ قَالَ الْمَلَائِكَةُ وَإِذْ قَالَ رَبُّكَ لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ. So is this a verbal sentence? قَالَ رَبُّكَ
Yeah.
لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also over here, when you see the word when, you can also think of it as a shart, like a jumla shartiya. Yeah? Agree?
Yeah.
If you look at the detail here, I have already given you the detail that this is known as zarf zama, is telling you a time when. Okay, now once I get to the next ayah, I will come back to this and give you another piece of information which will be new for us. So this page is clear to everyone.
Yeah. That was a good information. Is and isa. That was a good difference. Yeah.
Okay, good. So now the next sentence is, what did Allah said? Inni is inna, right? There is the inna in there.
And
Indeed, I,
Indeed.
right? So as soon as you see inni or inna, you know that this is jumla ismiya. Yes.
Right. Yeah.
And when you see inna or inni, then
a
you
shart.
know that it's ismu inna, right? Because inna is the harf mushabbah bil fi'l, and what it does, it take over the ownership, and the mubtada become ismu inna, and the khabar become khabru inna. Yes, this is a old concept we have been talking about many times, right? So he said, inni ja'ilun. Is ja'ilun the noun? He's the khabar. That what am I going to do? I'm going to place what? In the earth, fil ardi khalifa. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. So now here you see that the khalifa is nasab. Yes?
Yeah. Done. Yeah.
Yes. Right? Khalifa is a nasab. So that is, yes, it can be a maful bihi if there is a fail and a fire. Yes. But in this sentence, we are not finding the fail. We are only finding the ismul file, which is ja'ilun. You guys pay attention to this part, that I don't have a verb in here.
Inni ja'ilun.
Ja'ilun fil ardi khalifa. Fil ardi is mutalik. Brother Fawad, are you with me?
Mutalik and
right?
there.
So there is ja'ilun. Is ja'ilun the file or is the fail?
File.
Brother Kabir? Brother Kabir is very quiet.
Yes, fail.
It's fail. Right? It's not fail. It's ja'ilun. It's not.
File.
Going is a verb or?
No,
It's a doer.
Going to place.
Ja'ilun is saying that I will make. It's the word ja'ala means made something, right? Ja'ilun is the maker, the one who's going to make. Yes?
Why it is saying place here?
Okay.
You're going to place the people.
Well, that is the way to say it, but isn't it also, I can say, going to make the man, the Khalifa in the earth? That's absolutely okay.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to tell you, when you have the word file, right? What is the file? Fa'ilun, right? When you have fa and lam, that's the fail. What is the file? File is the file, right? The word is file. Yes.
File, Yeah.
So if you have ja'ala, what will be the file? Ja'ilun.
Jailun.
Everybody on this same page with me?
Yeah.
Okay. Now something, if you guys remember from the previous lecture, there is something called
What would be maf'ul? What would be maf'ul for this? Ja'ilun. Ja'ilun and
would probably be maj'ulun. Maj'ulun. Yeah.
okay.
So is it a masdar? Ja'ilun?
No, ja'ilun is the ismul file, brother Kabir.
Yes.
Right? Ja'ilun is the one who's going to make something. He's the maker. Yeah. Okay. So think about this. You remember, brother Fawad, are you there? Muted, I guess.
He left. It's disconnected.
He's there, but he's muted. Okay. No worries. We'll be able to come back. So remember, we said there are fail lazim and there is fail mutaaddi. Who remembers that? What is fail lazim?
Must.
Fail lazim is where when you have a fail and a file, you don't need a maf'ul. That's called fail lazim. Okay. Anything coming back to you?
Brother Abid, we become so rusty.
Yeah. I was trying to, but I think there is an issue with my mic. Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah. So file lazim is file plus file. Like
Yes.
he went zahaba, and
Yeah,
filing
he's
also.
zahaba. That's fine enough. There's no need for the maf'ul, or at least
Yeah.
maf'ul is not needed. But fail mutaaddi
Yeah, need file.
is something where you need the maf'ul to be present.
Yeah, like file plus maf'ul.
Right. Now, if I say ja'ala, he made, do you need to know what he made?
Khalifa.
Yeah.
No, question is ja'ala needs a maf'ul?
Yes.
Do you see the need for a maf'ul?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So the point is, it's in Arabic language, when you have a ismul file, which is made out of a fi'l muta'addi, then the file itself is absent. Okay. The file itself can be absent. Get it? Are you guys with me?
Yep.
Brother Altaf, you went really quiet. So when the ismul file is of a fail, which is of a kind muta'addi, then the ja'ilun can act as the fail and file together. You see? So when that happens, the word khalifa becomes the maf'ul bihi for ja'ilun, even though the word ja'ala is not present in the sentence. Are you with me on this, Brother Fawad?
Yeah.
Brother Altaf, are you still there? Brother Kabir.
Yeah. I am.
Brother Javed, your brother Javed is very quiet. So
No, I'm muted. So I'm not quiet. I'm muted.
okay, so are you clear with this concept what I'm explaining right now?
Yeah.
So that is why when you see Khalifa in the Nasab, that is maf'ul bihi for ja'ilun. Okay, so what is the translation? That indeed I am going to place or make or appoint in the earth a Khalifa. Okay. All right. So ja'ilun is ism marfu because it's in the status of rafa. Okay. Al-ardi is majroor. Why? Because it's connected with the harf jar.
Yeah.
Khalifa is the ism mansoob. Yeah. So when what happened then? They said qalu. Who said qalu? The angels.
The angels.
So in the qalu, is it the third siga or the first siga?
Third thing.
Third.
Third siga. So when you see a third siga, do you need to wonder whether the file can come in the after this or no?
Yes.
No, you don't need to wonder because you know that only when you see siga number 1, only then you think that a visible file could come up, in later in the sentence.
Yeah. Okay. And that sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
Yeah.
if you see anything other than 1 and 4, you
One
don't need
fourth,
to
yeah.
worry about it. You know that this means hum, right?
Yes.
All who mean hum.
They
They
all.
all say, they said. Atajalu. Now, atajalu is the interrogative sentence. Yes.
Yes.
So atajalu is the second person. Will you make? Will you make, right? So what is the letter ta stand for? That's a alamat mudare.
Alamat mudare.
Yeah.
And what is the pronoun? Anta. Yes.
You.
Atajalu.
Yeah.
Who are they talking to? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Are they
Yeah.
talking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala face to face?
Yeah.
So they're talking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the second person, right? That they're saying,
Yeah.
are you going to make or will you place fiha? What is fiha? Jar majroor?
Yes, in it.
Yeah.
In it. So is that atajalu anta fiha or atajalu fiha? Is that a verbal sentence?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So then that verbal sentence, can it become a maful bihi for qalu, which is verb and file?
Maful
Yeah.
be, yeah.
Look at
Verbal
this.
sentence, yeah.
The qalu, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to the angels, I am going to appoint a khalifa in the earth. That was the jumla shartiya. So it started with the word is, which was started the shart, and the first one was that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Inni jailun fil ardi khalifa. And the second jawab or the answer of the angel will be qalu atajalu anta fiha. Yeah, that's the jawab al-shart. But do you guys see the point that this word here, let me see the annotate here. This part here is a verbal sentence. You guys see that?
Yes. Yeah.
And this is a verb and a file here, qalu. Yeah.
Yes.
So this whole thing becomes the maful bihi for this. Yes.
For the qalu.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. Okay, so let's see what's next. And they continue, by the way, then they're explaining man. Now is man a ism mawsul?
Question, oh yeah.
Remember, man is a ism mawsul.
Yeah. Yeah. The special mode. Yeah.
Ism mawsul, then what do we need to find afterwards?
Sila.
Sila. And sila is normally a
The verbal sentence.
Verbal.
Verbal sentence.
So is yufsidu, is that fi'l mudari?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, is it what is the hidden zamir here?
Who? Who?
Oh,
Right? Yufsidu is the first person, right?
Yes.
yeah.
I mean third person, but
Third
first
person.
Third
Single.
third person, but singular.
Singular.
Yeah. So the file is huwa. Fiha is jar majrur. Yes.
Yes.
The waw is the harf ataf.
Yeah.
And then yafsiku is again same pattern.
Muzarif,
Yufsidu wa yasfiku. The file is huwa.
Wow.
And dama or dima'u is the maful bihi.
No.
So there is a verbal sentence here. Yes. And there is a verbal sentence here. And they are connected with the ataf. And that becomes one big verbal sentence, which is the sila for
Man.
Man.
Man yufsid.
man yufsidu. So that's the tajweed, right? When you're reading it connected, you're going to say man yufsidu. But when you say man, then man is itself a ism mawsul, like allazi. Man is the one who. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And all of this continue to become maful bihi for atajalu, because that's what they are arguing with him or telling him about that, what he's going to do. And they're answering all these things about this creation. Yeah. Let's see. Then, and now, after they said that, they said, wa nahnu. So nahnu is what?
We.
We. Right.
And we.
Nusabbihu. Nusabbihu is the verb, right? Is
Yes.
it a fi'l mudari?
Yes.
Well, mudari, yeah.
What is the pronoun here?
We.
We.
We, which is
Nahnu.
nahnu,
No.
right? And bihamdika is jar majroor and mudafun ilayh.
Yes.
Yes, your will with your praises. Yes.
Yeah.
So nusabbihu, we glorify you with your praises. Wa nukaddisu, is this harfi ataf?
Yes.
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 And we sanctify you, nukaddisu. Laka. Is nukaddisu also fi'l mudari?
Yes, same. Yeah.
And it has
Nusabbihu
nahnu
nuqaddisu.
as the
Nah.
pronoun, and lak or laka is jar majroor. Yes. So this whole big thing is the verbal sentence, which becomes the khabar for nahnu.
Nah.
But nahnu was the mubtada here, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because pronoun
that
could be a
becomes-
mubtada.
Now I know that there is a lot of information here, but I believe our mind's capacity has grown to a point that we can put this together in our head. Yes.
Inshallah.
Yes, Brother
Yes.
Altaf, are you still there or you just dropped? What happened to Brother Altaf? He disappeared. No, he's still here, but he's muted.
I
Oh,
think it's,
sorry, I was talking. I'm here. Sorry. I'm actually writing, and it's sometime it.
No worries.
I focus
So-
on writing more.
So I was saying that now, alhamdulillah, our mind should be expanded enough that we can, process this complex sentences into something simpler, right? So
Yeah.
nahnu is the mubtada, and this big giant two verbal sentences with
Is the
connected with the ataf will become the khabar for the noun.
Khabar. Yeah.
Okay, but there is another interesting fact. This is also the hal for tajal. Why? Because what are they explaining? They're saying that while you're trying to create a creation who is going to do the corruption and the shed blood, but while we are here glorifying you and we are all sanctifying you, right? They're telling their hal, their condition, like what they're doing for Allah. You see that?
So what's the definition of Khalifa? Like, what's the kind of
Vicegerent.
responsibilities and what's there? Like, what is Khalifa?
Vicegerent.
Okay. Khalifa, again, in this lecture from Yasir Qadi, he explained that in quite detail. It's a person appointed by Allah to govern the rules of Allah. Like he will be governing based on the rules of Allah by following the Sharia of Allah. Yeah. Like whatever Sharia Allah has given him, he needs to implement that. He is just the representative of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
But implement on themselves.
Yes. So he will implement on himself and the people under him. Whoever people he's destined to govern, he's not going to be dictating them what he wants. He will be telling them what to do as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala expects them to do.
But are we all not Khalifa? All insans are Khalifa.
Yeah.
Well, in general terms, you could say that, but you
Yeah.
asked me a very technical detail, and I recently heard it, so I thought I should give you that detail.
I should listen
Some-
that lecture. for
So
sure.
these are some of the simple questions, but I
Yeah.
tell you, this sheikh is going into so much detail. You'll be surprised. Some people are getting bored to death because he's not letting it go. He's going after every little thing. And you will be surprised when he dissects and even answers some of the doubts which will come in your mind when you read these verses. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, if you have the time, this will be a complete worth your time lectures, Whenever you're relaxed and you feel like you want to get to the bottom of things, and this is a higher level sort of a class he's doing. He's not lecturing, he's actually teaching a class, basically.
Okay.
Okay. And just to give you a little more.
So the name is Qasasul Anbiya.
Qasasul Anbiya, the stories of the prophets, 21. I'm
That is
listening
the-
to 21. In this part, he's talking about when Allah said to the angels to that prostrate to angels. So he was talking about that there is a conflict. Some people or some ulama would say that they were not prostrating like the way we prostrate to Allah. They were just showing respect. And then he's also explaining that the Quran is saying no, they all physically went down like a sajda. So very interesting background on the whole thing, that what kind of opinions are out there and how different scholars think about these verses,
Yeah.
and how some people even try to defend shaitan with based on this verse, because they said the one group of people, they said the shaitan did not refuse to prostrate to Adam or disobey Allah. He didn't do it out of respect for Allah, that no one else should be prostrated to other than Allah. You know what I mean? But they try to sugarcoat things. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself said in the Quran that you aba and istakbara, why were you arrogant? You did the arrogance. Why didn't you prostrate when I ordered you, right?
Yeah, that's what he ordered.
So there are all kind of people out there who are trying to sugarcoat the reality. And with some naive people might fall for that, Okay, so that's why it's very important to know your deen and also deal with the doubts and some of the controversial topics where you as a Muslim also might have doubts, and it's okay to clarify them, unless you really go out of line, but try to be intelligent about it and try to look at the opinions and the dalil and all the evidence. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anyhow, back to this. And I will send you the link. Now, this Sheikh, he started, actually, this whole thing started a year and a half ago, by the way. He started from the life in the barzakh, meaning the life in the grave. Okay. So basically, the journey started from the lecture series called Life in the Grave, which is life in the barzakh, because barzakh is the place when you die, you go there, right? So that is the starting point. Then he went into the day of judgment. Okay. So that because first you die, you stay in the grave, and then you resurrect, and it's a day of judgment. And then you basically go through the hisab, and then you're either destined for Jannah or Jahannam. Very interesting lectures. If you haven't experienced it so far, I would strongly recommend it. And now he's getting into the stories of the prophets. And prior to that, he did the seerah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the seerah of the mothers of the believers. And then he did a huge, like 120 some lectures on the story of the Sahaba. So if you're really looking into becoming a knowledgeable person about your deen, you don't have to leave your room or the comfort of your house. You just make it a point that every day you listen to maybe half an hour, 45 minutes, and inshallah in a year or so, you will be very, very knowledgeable, inshallah. Okay, so back to our thing. Okay, we did that already. Okay, then the next one is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala responded back to them. He said, Qala. Qala is again, he said. And in the pronoun is huwa. In this situation, there is no rafa noun or rafa thing in front. So the noun is huwa. The file is huwa. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, inni is ismu inna.
Indeed.
And then and the ismu inna and the khabaru inna is coming in the form of a verbal sentence. Alamu is first person. Yes.
Yeah.
So the pronoun is ana.
Yes.
Yes.
Ma la ta'lamun, which is a negative.
Negative.
Right? Because what not you know. Yeah. So that is also sila, because ma is another isme mausul. Got it?
Yeah.
So that's khabru inna. The verbal sentence becomes khabru inna, and this becomes this whole nominal sentence because of the qala, and qala become this verbal sentence, or the nominal sentence become the maf'ul bihi for qala. Can you guys see this? That how it become the maf'ul bihi?
Yeah.
Okay. Because this is verb, this is file, and this whole thing is a nominal sentence.
Yeah.
And this nominal sentence becomes the maf'ul bihi for qala. All right.
Yes.
Now think about qala. Qala mean he said. So when you are saying something to somebody, there are three things: the one who is saying, the one you are saying to, and what are you saying? Agree?
Yeah.
So if you apply that rule, qala is he said. And what did he say? To who? To angels.
To angels.
Inni alamu ana ma la ta'lamu. I know what you don't know.
Yeah.
Yes. So anytime you have qala or words like these, then you know that there are three things supposed to be happening. Yeah. Okay. So let's look at the Quranic, the vocabulary here. So we know qala very goodly, right? Qala is actually qawala, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So ja'ilun, let's look at ja'ilun, is from ja'ala. Yes.
Yeah. Jala, yajalu.
बनाने वाला, right? उर्दू में हम
Yeah.
कहते हैं बनाने वाला, right?
Yeah.
यजालू is the मुदारे, बनाएगा या बनाया. प्रेजेंट में कहेंगे तो बनाया, फ्यूचर में कहेंगे तो बनाएगा, right? बनाएगा, right?
Yes.
इजअल is फेले अमर, बनाओ, do it, make it.
Make it.
जाइलुन is the person who's making it, the file, ismul file. Brother Kabir, is that
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
Ja'lun is the masdar. Ja'lun is the masdar.
Ja'al.
Maj'ulun is the maf'ul. Ism
Maf'ul.
maf'ul. Yes. The thing you make is the maj'ul, right? So if I make the kursi, I am the maker and the kursi is the maj'ul.
Majul.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that clear?
Yeah, what
Yeah.
you make is majul. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So then also you wanted to look at Khalifa. So let's take a look. Ek naib, a substitute. Yeah.
Mm.
Naib is substitute.
I mean, when we say naib or we deputy, sorry, not substitute, deputy,
Or authority.
Assistant.
assistant or deputy, right? When you don't have a person in charge, then you appoint somebody and you say, this is my naib. Remember the file and the naib file? Remember
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
So when the file is missing and we are using something as naib, we call it naib file. That is the deputy is acting. In plain English, we will say the principal or the acting president or acting chairperson.
Okay.
So it's from khalafa. Khalafa means before you, right? Also, if you look at the literal meaning, when somebody you replace, then you say you replace it. You are the khalifa. You are the one who's replacing the one person before you. You see my point?
Yeah.
So that is another interesting way to look at it. Khalafa meaning the person before you, you replaced him. Yeah, because a khalifa changes or a president changes, right? Or somebody comes and take over because the nations come and go and then the new nations come. So khalafa is madi, yakhlufu is mudare, ukhluf is the fi'l amr, khalifun is the ism file. It doesn't have a ism maf'ul. The masdar is khilafatun. And sift mushabba is khalifatun. Yeah.
Why it doesn't have isme maf'ul? Makhlufun.
Not every verb has a maf'ul.
Okay.
Yeah, there are certain verbs they don't have a maf'ul. Okay. So, okay, what else you want to look at? Yasfiku or yufsidu. That's it. Fasada. Fasada, right? Actually, it is from, if you look at nasara yansiru, then it will be fasada yafsudu. Ufsud, fasad philao. Fasid is the one who does the corruption, right?
Yeah.
Fasadan is the act of doing corruption. And this one also doesn't have a maf'ul. Yeah?
Yeah.
But look at the if'alun. Yeah? Fasad karega. Afsada, yufsidu, afsid, mufsid. Mufsid ka labs humne padha hai na? Mufsidun.
Yeah. Yeah.
And mufsad. So there is a ismul file. The difference between the file and the maf'ul is only the kasra and the fatha.
Okay.
Yeah. And you will find that pattern quite a bit when you see if'alun. Okay. Muslimun, musliman. Okay. You'll find that. Okay. Ifsadun is from if'alun. That's the masdar. Got it? Okay. So yasfiku will be sa, sin, fa, qaf.
Safaka.
Safaka or bahaega. Safaka. yafsiku, isfik, safikun, masfukun, safkun, saffakun.
Oh, safak. Okay. इसमें मुबालगा.
Right? इसमें मतलब शिद्दत है उसके अंदर, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's from daraba yadribu. So again, this is all vocabulary words, guys. So if you are thinking that you need vocabulary, right here is the vocabulary for you as well. Okay. What else can you want to know? Let's say nukaddisu. So qaf, dal, sin, because the noon is the alamat mudare for first person.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
It's from bab taf'il, which is sabbaha yusabbihu. उसमें क्या पता चलता है? Continuity. जैसे रहम, रहीमा, right? रहीम. Or fa'il. Maybe I'm confusing you, but don't worry about that. Okay. और हम पाकीज़गी बयान करते हैं वनुकद्दिसु, या कद्दसा युकद्दिसु किदसिन मुकद्दसिन मुकद्दसुन. अब कहते ना ये जगह मुकद्दस है. Yes. So तकदीसन कुद्दूसुन, इसमें मुबालगा ये अल्लाह के लिए इस्तेमाल होता है. कुद्दूसुन, right? नसरा यंसुरु से अगर आप लेंगे तो कदसा यकदुसु, उक़दुस, कादिसुन, मक़दूसुन, कुदुसुन, कुदसन, कुद्दूसुन. Yeah. Okay, so inshallah that's more detail here. Anything else you would like to know? Dima is blood, but there's nothing here. Nusabbihu we already look. Hamdika we already know. Ta'lamun from will be ain lam mim. It's from Samiya Yasma'u, tum jante ho. Ta'lamuna is fi'l mudari third person. Right? Tum jante ho ya tum janoge. Right? Alima ya'lamu i'lam. Alimun ma'lumun. And we know these are Arab Urdu words. Alimun is the person who knows. Right? And ma'lum is something you know. Yes?
Yeah.
Ilman is the knowledge, which is the masdar. And isme mubalagha is allamun. हम कहते हैं ना ये अल्लामा है.
Oh, allama is allamun actually. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like he knows a lot, right? There is a mubalagha, there is an exaggeration.
More than alam.
Yes, he knows a lot. I mean, he has been studying a lot. That's why we call it allamun, right? And alimun is somebody who knows continuously. You know, like Rahimun and Kareemun, same thing. Okay, so from the Bab Tafil, you have Allama, Yu'allimu, Alli, how would you say that?
Lim.
Allim. Mu'allimun, we know what Mu'allim is, right?
Yeah.
And Mu'allamun and Ta'limun. Do we know Ta'limun?
Yeah.
Okay. So what is Ta'lim? Ta'lim is the knowledge, but if you ponder about it a little bit, and you will appreciate the slight difference, because ilm is also knowledge, right? Ilman. Yes. But ta'limun is a structured way of knowledge. What does that mean? For ta'lim, you go to school, and you go to school for a number of years. After that, you go to a university for a number of years. So there is a structured way of getting that knowledge. This is a structure. There is an architecture behind that. You see my point, what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
Is that for talib? No.
Yeah, so talimun has a basic structure behind it, that it is continuous, and there is a environment, there is a special place for it, and it continues for a number of years or a number of terms. Agree?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So inshallah, this is that, and we have another few minutes. So let me just quickly go to the Urdu part. وَإِذْ قَالَ رَبُّكَ لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ إِنِّي جَاعِلٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ خَلِيفَةً. और जब आपके रब ने फरिश्तों से कहा, बेशक मैं जमीन में एक खलीफा बनाने वाला हूँ. ठीक है? Is was इसमें ज़र्फ मादी. उर्दू में हम when को जब ट्रांसलेट करेंगे तो क्या कहेंगे when को? जब. Yes?
Yes, jab.
Jab.
Jab. Oh, yeah.
So qala is fi'l madi, wahid muzakkar ghaib, qala yaqulu, masdar qawlan. Rabbuka, Rabbu mudaf, Allah ka zati, Allah ka sifati naam. Rabb parwardigar, ka is you, like Allah ka, your Lord, right? Your, तुम्हारा अल्लाह या तुम्हारा रब, ठीक है? आपके रब ने, लिल मलाइकती, लाम इज हर्फ जार, मलाइका इज प्लूरल ऑफ एंजल्स. वाहिद क्या होता है? अल मलिक, और मलाइका इज द प्लूरल. इन्नी इज द inni plus ya, because this has the indeed I. Inna is the harf mushabbah bil fi'l, yes? Okay. Jailun is from ja'alan, masdar, ismul fa'il, wahid, muzakkar, banane wala. Fil ardi, zameen mein. Khalifa, नाइब खलीफा. खलीफा ना मालिक होता है ना इसके इख्तियारात ज़ाती होते हैं. ब्रदर अल्ताफ.
Yeah.
So here is saying Khalifa is not a Malik. Malik is Allah, but he is the naib. He is an appointee from Allah. That okay, you are my representative. You are my deputy.
So in other words, some powers are transferred.
I mean, yes, some powers are transferred. That okay, we have to listen to the Khalifa because he is an appointee of Allah. But he doesn't have his own ikhtiyarat. He cannot just dictate you that okay, this is my personal matter and you need to help me. We are obliged to him in the matters of which relating to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Yeah.
बल्कि वो मालिक का नायब होता है, यानी he is the deputy of Allah or the Malik. तो उर्दू अगर हम किसी आम जबान में खलीफा बयान करें तो whoever is the on top of him, then he is the deputy of that entity. Yeah.
And by the
Following
way,
one another. Yeah.
using the word
Brother-
transfer is not correct over here.
Yeah.
It's not transfer of power. It is giving some powers.
Yeah, it's a guidance from Allah. It still is guidance from Allah.
Okay, that's fine, not a problem. So we
Using the
can
word transfer.
counselor.
The
Okay,
word
inshallah.
transfer. Allah does not transfer the power. He gives the power.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Any
good
guide.
enough.
Any
Okay,
guide.
that's very good. That's good correction. Okay,
Khalifa is
alhamdulillah.
successor or a generation of men, one following one another.
That's right. चले इंशाल्लाह तफसीर पढ़ें और जो मैंने लेक्चर सुनने को कहा उसको सुने तो you will have a lot more information about this subject.
Inshallah.
So अक़ालू तजअलू फीहा मन युफ़सिदु फीहा व यस्फिकु दिमा. उन्होंने कहा क्या तू इसमें उसको बनाएगा जो इसमें फसाद फैलाएगा और खून बहाएगा. ठीक है. So alhamdulillah we have gone over most of this already. Then what else they said? وَنَحْنُ نُسَبِّحُ بِحَمْدِكَ وَنُقَدِّسُ لَكَ. और हम तेरी तारीफ के साथ तस्बीह बयान करते हैं और तेरी पाकीज़गी बयान करते हैं. या तो उस पर अल्लाह ताला ने फरमाया क़ाला इन्नी अअलमु मा ला तअलमून. उसने अल्लाह ने फरमाया बेशक मैं जानता हूँ जो तुम नहीं जानते. Okay guys.
Yeah.
So in this lecture, which I'm quite keep referring, each verse he has explained at least in 1 hour. Okay, so you can imagine how much detail he has went into. Like even this one ayah, he has gone over like one whole lecture on this one.
Actually, this is the foundational stuff.
Yes, definitely. So he's not trying to make this lecture series or any other storytelling series, like where you go and you say, okay, this was the story of this prophet and this was the story of this prophet. He's actually tackling with all the technical details of every little information you can think of. Yeah. Okay. So when we say that Allah created Hawa alayhi salam from the what do you call the rib of Adam. So what is the meaning of that? So there is a big 1 hour long explanation about this whole thing if you are really interested to know. So inshallah, jazakallah khairan. I hope we benefited from some of this knowledge. But anything we do in group and when we are discussing the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, anything correct I said is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Anything wrong I said is purely my fault, and may Allah forgive me and all of us, and we seek forgiveness from Him. But Alhamdulillah, we tried our best to explore things and try to get a little bit intimate with the verses, and I think we have picked up a bunch of vocabulary, bunch of concepts, bunch of understanding about how to translate the verses. So I hope you share the same feeling with me, inshallah.
Sure.
Okay, Jazakallahu khairan. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Okay, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa barakatuhu.